Hey, Bar Talk listeners. Well, Carl's out there picking out his favorite Hawaiian shirt to wear for today's episode. I just want to mention today's sponsors. Today we have two sponsors, the first of which is Black Box. Do you have TVs everywhere in your bar or restaurant? Is everyone demanding their favorite content? Or are the same content displays synchronized throughout your establishment? You may be struggling to deliver the right content on the right TV. Black Box switching, distribution, and control systems can help you stream the content your customers want without paying for extra receivers to satisfy your customers' need for variety. Without shifting attention away from your customers, your staff can easily control what displays on TVs via touch panels, tablets, or even their phone from any location in your bar. Do you want to promote food or drink specials, upcoming events and activities, share fun facts, trivia, or other interactive content, or make money selling ad space for other businesses? Black Box Digital Signage can help you create digital menu boards. Black Box Digital Signage can help you create digital menu boards that quickly and easily update to promote your specials, showcase your events, and integrate social media. Share display time between in-house promotions and ads for other businesses or partners. Talk to us or visit blackbox.com. And our second sponsor today is our good friends at Beatty's Vodka. Creamy, smooth, and fresh from the farm, Beatty's premium Canadian farm-to-bottle potato vodka has officially landed in the U.S. From their award-winning classic potato vodka and sweet potato vodka to the just-launched naturally flavored strawberry vodka, there's truly a Beatty's for everyone. Visit Beatty'sDistilleries.com to find a retailer near you.
If it wasn't for Tiger King, I would have never made it through COVID.
That was like,
you just have to know someone's doing worse than you.
Episode 1.
the worst part,
Yeah,
it was
right.
just like, that was like the first week, and you're like, all right, what'd they say, 2 weeks?
Yeah, right.
I'll just binge watch something else.
2 years later.
Yeah. All right. Welcome.
You
wanna drink?
It's the bar.
Bar Talk. You saw me like, what am I doing?
I work
yeah.
I gotta work later.
You do?
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Bar Talk Podcast. I am your host, Andy, from Inebriart, or one of the hosts. I'm not just the host.
You can't get through one of these introductions without questioning something.
I really kind of suck at this.
Usually it's like, oh, I might be Andy, and now you're like, I might host this thing.
intro, please?
Yeah.
Go, Dan.
Welcome to Bar Talk Podcast. I am Dan Mahoney. That is for a fact. Joined by Jordan Shabbat of wherever he decides to be at today.
Go.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it.
All right, I'll kick
yeah.
it off next, and joined by Carl Heine of New World Tavern and Tolson's Tavern. Tolson's Tap?
Tolson's Tap and Tavern.
Tap that, baby.
See,
Hello, everybody.
teamwork.
Yep. Now you have
Yeah,
to
you're next.
Yeah.
All right, and I want to introduce our guest today. Colin, what's your last name?
Give him the hard last name. Yeah.
Colin.
My last name is so nobody can pronounce it.
Don't even say
Yeah,
it. No,
but-
don't even say it. Let everybody wonder what it is.
Yeah, wonder what it is exactly.
Spell it out for them and then let them make their own assumptions.
Crociati.
That guy.
And I was made fun of in school for that name, for sure. I was
Listen,
called
you wanna get-
Crotchy, so.
Colin Crotty.
My last name's
Colin
Heine.
Crotty.
You know what I'm saying?
You guys
Okay,
gonna
so
get
we're
along
in the
great.
same kind of ballpark there. I gotcha.
So you got Heine and Crotchy in the corner of the table is the tank.
Yeah.
No, not funny. It's. I realized as I was saying, I'm like, it's not that funny.
It was
Low-hanging
you're
fruit.
reaching for a taint.
From, can I call it a microbrewery, nano brewery? Just
Yeah,
brewing?
like micro, nano, kind of in that ballpark.
From
range.
Sour Not Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Best can labels in town.
Oh, appreciate that.
Show everybody.
Yeah, pretty sexy.
Show everybody on the podcast. I'm like, wait, I didn't. No, we got new labels coming in, so I don't have any at the moment. But
Oh, check it out, dude.
look at this water. No, yeah, it's really awesome to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
All right, so tell us, what is it that you do?
And how long have you been doing
Dude,
What you do?
I said doo-doo.
And who do you do it with?
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
I've been brewing since 2011. I've worked for like 4 different breweries. I've worked for Harpoon, Mayflower, Hopsters, and until the pandemic hit, I was one of the main brewers at Shoveltown. And now I've decided to take the leap in the middle of the pandemic and start Massachusetts' first all-sour beer brewery. So here in Plymouth. So.
And the shit's flying.
Yeah.
I think I've
The
gone-
quality product is flying.
It is a... Yeah, shit's short for quality.
It's
Super
definitely an
high,
abbreviation somewhere, yeah.
impactful, something that begins with G.
Right.
Colin, tell us. What do you hate about it? What do you love about it?
Well, the hate part, I don't like the fact I'm all by myself at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of doing everything, delivering, brewing, testing, which, like, I love it at heart, but, like, I think that's the only thing, like, in the brewing industry, when you get your assistant brewer, like, the weight gets taken off you a little bit, but in general, it's like, that's the only thing I hate about my company, but otherwise, like, I've never been more proud about anything in my life, so I'm just happy to be doing it, and I think that, we're just making ridiculously good, like, tropical sours that just people are really digging, apparently. So
Yeah. So to give the people listening a little bit of a preview, as someone who's sold the beer since you've kind of actually honorary first order, I have invoice 001 in my office right now.
you do, yes. I have that picture too.
Still unpaid.
So your flagship, I guess I could say at least early on, is the Octopus, which is a hop sour. Am I right to say that, or dry hop sour, or?
It's like a sour IPA.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's such a hard style to do because it's a weird thing. You're combining like an IPA, something that's super like bitter in nature, with like something that's kind of sour and juicy. So for years I was trying to like struggle getting the right blend and the right perfection down, and I think that we finally kind of hit the right, because most sour IPAs are like, it's either like super hoppy one way or it's like super sour the other way, but ours is like kind of blended.
Yeah, it's a
middle
lot of
the road.
intense flavor you're trying to like, but a lot of people like, it's come out incredibly balanced and it moves. It doesn't seem like it's overwhelming people or anything like that.
Yeah.
People like swear there's fruit in it or something because
Yeah.
we're able to get a lot of flavor out of the hop. And some reason the bitterness is gone, and it also complements sort of the astringency and the sourness of the beer. So yeah, it's a style. There was a lot of sour IPAs I think back in the day that came out, and they were sort of, it was unbalanced. It wasn't super drinkable. Yours
Yeah.
is.
Thank you.
Yeah, people are really enjoying that. And then you got the Cloud Commander, which is a sort of a creamsicle.
Yeah, it's a blood orange dreamsicle sour, so yeah, blood orange vanilla. That was actually kind of, I was only going to do like Hannah Colada as our first sour fruit ale, but then like I was like, I really want to do blood orange and vanilla. I just don't really see that. A lot of people just do regular orange in their beers, and I was only going to do one batch of it, and then when we released that one batch, it sold like wildfire, and our fans message me all the time. They're like, "Where's Cloud Commander? Where's Cloud Commander?" And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'm gonna keep it on my brew schedule." So I mean, like that's a really fantastic kind of rant, because most of the beers that are out on the market right now are kind of ones I've done in the past and I've perfected. So it's really nice that I can kind of just like do one right on the fly, and it still sticks pretty well.
Right.
So-
You're gonna enjoy it a lot more when you get some help over there.
Now you're the only one. Pretty much, it's just you.
It's just me.
What's your goal? What's your long-term goal here? What do you want out of this company?
I want to really establish a...
And I'm setting you up for a question, so go
No,
ahead.
no, that's good. I like it. I love talking. I really want to do like an epic sour brewery here in Plymouth. I have this vision of just a beautiful tap room with wood floors and a couple arcade games, record player, fantastic sour beer fans.
Inebriate mug painting nights.
Yes,
Oh, there you go.
Hey, no big deal, no big deal. First one's free, buddy.
You're hired, Jordan.
I got no time.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I mean, we're even we're gonna have like 12 sour beers on draft, and beautiful mural.
Do you want to stick local? Do you want to go?
We'll stick local, but I think I'm such a dreamer, but I would love to have like a big headquarters here in Plymouth for sour beer, and then maybe 10 years down the road, I would love to do like one in Miami, because I think that place would be great for a lot of the crazy fruits that are down there and stuff like that, and we could have a brewer down there kind of experiment with what he wants, and I'll be up here, doing my thing. So we'll spread the sour love everywhere, I think. So
your branding definitely has that vibe, especially obviously with the flavors being tropical and such. But there is like a sort of a funness, the graffiti look.
Yeah.
It has that loud color sort of Miami vibe to it. I could see that working out.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I got the like spray paint can idea from. I went to I think J Wakefield, and they have like the spray paint cans too. Theirs are a little different, but like
Tell them what you mean by spray paint cans.
Yeah, so our spray paint can tap handles. So we basically have an artist, and I found her on Etsy, and she does these like customized like hand painted spray paint cans, and she's never done tap handles before. And I messaged her, I'm like, you want to do a bunch of tap handles for us? And I don't know if she regrets it or not, because now she's got to make like a bunch of them on the fly all the time. So.
But her business, dude.
Oh no, definitely. Like I actually want to like fly her out here. She's from Chicago, and I want her to do like our mural, which would be really cool on the wall. Same kind of graffiti style,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hell yeah. And we're even this is an idea I came up with a little while ago, but you know how like every brewery has like a brew dog, living in the brewery and stuff like that. So this is crazy, but I want a pet octopus at our.
I saw you
That's
post
awesome.
that the other day. That would be rad.
Isn't that awesome?
Now,
You were
is
gonna
it really
die
a
of dog grief.
I thought he was gonna be like, "Oh, I want a pet artist to live in." I'm like, "That you can't do that, man. That's
now?
not
Is
right."
it really just is it a pet octopus, or did you just have an octopus?
A pet octopus, and you can kind of like it'll be in the tap room, and they're called a day octopus, and they obviously they're active during the day, and they're like really intelligent, and they love like anyone coming in to interact with them. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be like, and our main beer is
Until it fucking
Octofam.
wraps around your head and drowns you.
Yeah, exactly.
All I can think of is like the multiple stories I've heard about like aquariums with octopus that constantly escape because they're so smart.
Yeah, there was an aquarium in South Korea, and at late at night everyone went home, and this octopus climbed out of the tank, went into the next one, and ate all the fish, and then had the intelligence to get out of that tank, go back to his own aquarium, and pretend it wasn't him.
Which means you're gonna walk in one day and find the octopus like shit faced.
Yeah, he's on the tap handle, like, kind of going from the faucet.
Historically, famously, I should say, Carl's told a story on the podcast, I think multiple times, about how when they opened, they had no cash on the cash drawers because no one thought to get any. Did you have like that, oh shit, moment where you're like, I never thought beer labels or something that you would think would be obvious that just
Like I forgot. Or?
Yeah, just you were like, oh,
Things you don't think of when you open, and all of a sudden you open and going, oh shit.
yeah.
I don't have
More
Pac-Tex.
kegs. I need more kegs. I need another tank, but mainly when I opened, it was like what's gonna stick, because we were like right in the middle of like, I think we opened in like just before Christmas, so it's like, okay, like what sours are gonna be good around this time, all of that kind of thing. I think the number one thing I'm still struggling with is like, getting the right cans and getting like our labels. Well, we got brand new label people coming in, but yeah, labels definitely and stuff like that. So little things I wasn't too sure of, like, oh no, I'm running out of these, and yeah.
Patience. I wish I had more patience.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, patience.
Unless you're a doctor.
Yeah, there you go. Not bad.
Thank you.
That was great.
Might be the best one today.
We've talked a lot about your flavors, but I can't. I'm just so inspired by sort of a backstory here, and I think it'd be a shame if we didn't bring it up. So you mentioned quick Hannah Colada, which is style of beer we just tapped the Speedwell Flu, like all your stuff is.
Oh, thank you.
Besides a really cool name, what's the significance behind that beer?
So back in 2018, I was diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma. It was a really, really rough 6 months of my life. I still wear hats because I don't really have that much hair. But yeah, so it's like, so I was cured after the 6 months, and it was because of all the awesome people at Dana-Farber that just kind of got me through it. And my own mom right now, she's dealing with cancer as well, so they're getting her through it too. So they're such heroes to me, and it's so special. I don't really get emotional. I get a little emotional with this.
No,
but
safe space.
Yeah, knock it off.
Because a lot of people have been crying around Carl lately.
he's like, get that shit out of here. No, but yeah. So basically, like, a lot of beers I want to do, and Hannah Colada is the first. But so on my last day of treatment, and Nurse Hannah was my nurse the entire chemotherapy treatment, and she got me through it. The 6 months, she was there basically every single day with me. And on the last day of treatment, she said, "Hey, Colin, like, I had a good idea for a sour beer. Like, what about like a pina colada, like, sour beer?" And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds really good." So we, it's like, what am I gonna do this summer? We want to like hit with a banger and stuff like that. And I thought, the only beer I can do is Hannah Colada. Like, there's no other way around it.
Right.
I want to work with pineapple, and I'm not going to do 2 pineapple beers. So, like, I was like, all right. So I messaged Hannah and be like, we're going to do your beer. So we did the first beer, like maybe like 3 weeks ago or a month ago, I forget. But she came to the brewery with us, brewed the first batch together, and and a portion of the proceeds with every case and keg sold go to helping cancer research in the Boston area. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome, dude.
It's funny, like we were at one of our events 2 weekends ago, and a buddy of mine's like, "Oh, hey, you got to try this beer." He's like, a friend of mine gave it to me, and he's like, I love like being in the adjacent to the beer industry because it's the only time you have like a can with like Sharpie written on it because there's no label. And I'm like, "Oh," he's like, "It's a sour." I'm like, "I'm not a fan of sours, but I'll try it because it's a beer." And I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty good." I'm like, "This is like a pina colada." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, where's this from?" He's like, I don't know." He's like, "Josh gave it to me," and I'm like,
just drinking unmarked cans. No idea where it came from.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Just poor life decision.
Yeah.
Poor life decision. It doesn't work.
You know me.
Yeah, this is true.
And so, like, through the conversation, I'm like, "Wait, is this sour, not sour?" He's like, "That's it. That's the brewery." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I know that guy." So it was nice because I could. I didn't feel that. Oh, I have to like it because it's Colin's beer.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
it's good you didn't know.
Yeah, it was
Unbiased.
I took the Pepsi taste test.
So no brew pub yet,
No brew
right?
pub
No
yet.
no tasting room.
No, but our beers.
I didn't mean to stump you.
No, you're good. I like stuff.
And where is it gonna be?
Well, one question at a time, Carl.
know.
Let me
Christ,
answer,
he's
all
stuttering
right?
over here. I'm
It's
like,
a
let's
fucking
go.
interrogation,
Seriously.
dude. Jesus Christ.
Where were you Saturday night?
CSI New World Tavern over here.
Let's go. Let's
Cops
go.
coming from behind the bar.
It's the lightning round now.
No, I don't really know. We haven't really searched for a new place, but I really want just a nice big space, and beautiful tap room and awesome beers. And I feel bad for my future production crew because I'm gonna make the production the brewery floors like lime green. So like I don't know if that's gonna be an eye hurter.
They're gonna be wearing shades all the time.
brewery.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, if you would originally tell me that, I'd be like, dude, all right, good luck with that. But then once you showed the pictures of it, I was like, that's kind of fucking nice. It's pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ooze all over.
On the set of fucking Nickelodeon, what is it?
Slime.
Yeah. Double Dare.
So Carl, Nickelodeon is like a
I
kid.
know what
right.
it is. I have kids. What is it?
Do you ever feel like you're gonna get to that point where you're like, I'm soured out, and you're gonna want to make an IPA or a porter?
Oh yeah. I want to have like 2 or 3 tap lines always having like normal beers on because I'd feel bad for the poor guy coming in like I don't like anything sour, and then he's got to sit there with his buddies and like they're all drinking and he's got water or something.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll have like porters, or we'll have like mainly like pilsners and pale ales, just so like
Something drinkable. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut the people up.
We got something for you.
That's great customer service thinking.
It really is, though.
Yeah.
You're going out of your comfort zone to appease some asshole. That's customer service in a nutshell.
Well, I don't know. But
You have something for. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say something for everybody, but you have to have something for
Yeah.
everybody. But if people are coming to a sour brewery to taste an IPA, they're probably in the wrong brewery.
Right.
So
Yep.
they,
And it's very
know where you go.
Especially it's in your name. So
yeah, and that's a great part of the name is like you're not gonna walk in and being like, oh, you only have sours. Like people are gonna be like, hey, it's a sour.
That's right.
brewery.
That's
It's
why people
not-
are going to go there.
Yeah.
to
it
get
also
the
says
sour
sorry
beers.
in my name.
Well, he tells you he's not going to apologize.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right, so let's. I'm going to ask you this question: what breweries do you like for their sours?
I like Vitamin C. Vitamin C's got some really good fruity sours. Let's see. I mean, I think Night Shift's really good.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
Night
I
Shift.
agree.
Yeah.
I think Smutty Nose does some quality products.
Yeah, they have. I think they have a key lime pie sour or something like that. I saw, and I'd like to look more into the details about what happened. I think when under new ownership or something like that, but they're still crushing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
They do some nice sours.
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, I think that you're starting to see this big shift from all the IPAs, and people want the tropical sours. I work part time too at Longhouse Axe, next door, which is so sick, honestly.
It's an axe throwing place. Yep. I've been there. It's fun.
You guys got to stop
I've been there. It's
by.
fun.
I'll
Yeah.
give you guys a free throw.
Nice.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'll let you guys decide that one. No, but
We'll just
awesome
have Jordan
people.
go against the boards looking like Jesus, and we'll all try to get
Do me a favor.
No, but yeah, people just keep coming up to the bar and they're like, "Hey, could I get that sour not sorry beer?" And I'm the one serving it. I'm like, "Oh, what do you think of it?"
Recon mission.
Yeah,
Love that shit.
and I'm awkwardly "Don't look over as they're drinking," but I'm curious.
Just don't put your face on the side of the can. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's gonna get the person who only drinks half a can, follow him out the street, and be like, "Hey, what's wrong with the beer?"
Follow them to their car.
Why didn't you like this?
and then some people are like, well, it's not my style. I don't care for it. Then you walk away going, that guy's an idiot.
You give
Doesn't
him
know
a
the
dull
art
axe.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
So you bring up an interesting point. We were talking about it a little before we started recording, was sort of the volatility of styles in the craft beer world. And we've seen a lot of breweries sort of do 90 to 95% of these new hazy, sort of soft IPAs. And we keep waiting for that bubble to burst. And it's been going pretty strong for 6-7 years now. Started with the heady topper, and then all of a sudden everybody was doing it.
But even before that, it was when I started this bar here, it was how hoppy can you make your beer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Imperial IPAs,
It was.
IBUs.
I mean, it was brutal. I mean, people would have one. You can't taste anything the rest of the night.
Right.
Oh, with the stone
And then it
ruinations
was,
to ruin your
well,
taste buds.
Before that,
Palate wrecker and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was brutal. But you're right. Then that kind of went off quick because again, you can only have one. Then you can't taste anything the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it went. Now it's at I would say about 5 years ago, the hazy IPAs. Then they call it a New England style. They called it. What else do they call it? New England.
Like New England
juice
hazy
bomb.
IPAs,
Yeah.
unfiltered IPAs.
Yep.
The first one I ever saw was Southern Tier Unearthly. They did an unfiltered Unearthly back in the day. Southern Tier is a brewery out in New York. They were known for these 22-ounce bombers, and then they started getting into Imperial IPAs and stuff in kegs. But they did the first unfiltered one. I remember pouring it into a glass and just seeing all this fucking shit floating around, and I'm like, who wants to chew on that?
Yep.
Just give me a regular IPA.
And that's
then-
why Heady Topper says right on the can, do not pour into a glass.
Yeah.
Drink from the can.
Yes,
when you
all
pour
that
it out,
shit at the bottom.
it comes out in chunks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not good to look at.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's definitely
But it tastes
not.
delicious.
Right.
But if people pour it in a glass, they would
And then I
put it
feel
back
like
to the bartender saying something's wrong.
then I feel like there was a
yeah.
big trend of the session because people were like, I don't want a 9.5%
That's
beer.
right.
That was the reverberation
Yeah.
from the Imperial IPA thing. Was people were just getting too fucked up and gaining too much weight. And
Well, you're only selling 2 beers to the guy and
Yeah.
he's hammered.
yeah,
I'd rather sell 10, session IPAs than
Yep.
people wanted beach
4
beer.
double IPAs.
Yeah.
Right, and then people really good session IPAs started coming out. People were like, the first one I remember in this area was Wachusett Light IPA, and it was still 4%, and it tasted like an IPA, but it didn't have the same body. And, it was
And they
only
came
100.
out, I think they were just before the whole craze started.
Yeah,
they were
just
a
a
little
little
before
too
their
early.
time.
Yeah, it was
They
like
really
banged
were.
the blueberry bus.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
bang bus. Damn, dude, that just came out.
One of our
I
biggest
don't know what you mean,
sellers at Tulsa in the past week.
It's Bang Bus.
Is the blueberry Wachusett blueberry, one of our biggest sellers.
And I think the classics are starting to come back, and that's why I brought it up, because the main point was that, are we starting to see that bubble burst, like, or is it necessarily going to be a burst more so some of that automatic hazy IPA crowd getting tired of that style and starting to gravitate towards, I see Pilsner moving a lot.
Yes.
I see sours
I see a lot of Pilsners coming out.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is that the craft beer cellar, the wall gets rearranged just by style, and in the summer the seltzers and the pilsners and non-hoppy stuff have a much wider section, and you shrink down the porters and the stouts. The porters and stouts aren't shrinking.
No shit.
Like, it's almost summertime and people are still like, oh, what do you got for porters and stouts?
Well, it's still 30
That's
degrees
awesome.
outside.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's talk again in a month.
you
when
can
it's
call it
70.
something if you want.
But usually people are already kind of like trying to get into that mood.
Yeah,
I mean,
you see winter come out and
Yeah.
August.
Listen,
and, yeah.
it's not spring until Sam Adams comes out with their summer.
I have summer ale on draft already.
They got some Oktoberfest. I think they're really nice.
We're in trouble then. Yep. It's gonna be cold forever.
Who needs a fucking groundhog?
So let me ask you this, Colin, because we talked about your flagship beer, and because I work at the beer cellar, one of the questions I get asked constantly, hey, have you drank all these beers? And I'm like, I'd be dead. There's no way that you can drink all the beers.
No.
And like 50% of that wall changes every single week.
Oh yeah, easily.
Is there a pressure or a trend to constantly have like a new thing?
Like a new style.
Yeah, it seems
Constantly.
like me, I like to have beers and be like, these are the beers I drink. I don't want to have to always sit down with a giant menu and be like, oh, all right,
Yeah.
what do... but people seem to want to constantly be trying new things. So is there pressure to constantly change and come up with a new idea?
Honestly, the way I look at it, and it's just like John Kimmage from, The Alchemist.
Yeah.
He said the same thing, and I kind of think the same thing. I would rather have 3 fantastic, unbelievable beers than like 20 okay beers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So for me personally, I'm like constantly trying to create new stuff and stuff like that too. But I have to perfect it before it goes out. I have to make sure that it's just gonna like hit the bars and it's gonna be like epic every single time. Because with my brewery, I want to leave that like in your face impression, because we're kind of like bright colors and we're awesome, and I care about these beers so much. I don't have kids of my own yet. Someday I will, but they're kind of my own. These beers it's stupid. It sounds stupid, but they're kind of like my children, and I want to make sure that they're represented well here in this town. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of pressure to make new stuff, and when we get our pilot tank in, I think I'll have more freedom to do that. But I'm just kind of like, at the moment, I'm like, one beer at a time, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
That's smart. We've said that a bunch of times about, we talk about our clientele and how they come in with ideas and they want to add things to your menu and stuff like that, which is fine. Input's fine. We don't always want to hear it. I think most of the time we don't want to hear it. Yeah. But we've always come back to the conclusion, like, you just do what you do best and everything figures itself out. It's keep it simple.
And then you run into like, there'll be breweries that come out with an amazing beer.
It's
and
gone.
people will come in and be like, "Can I get that?" And be like, "No."
Wait till next year.
Yeah, they brew one tank
And on our last podcast, right, with Chef Duffy,
Yeah.
one of the
That
things
was 2
that
ago.
he said was
2 ago.
That was 2 ago.
Yeah.
Who knows when
Month
this
ago?
comes out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
6
Still
months
hungover
ago.
from Vegas. Is he said he doesn't care what your concept is. Don't let anybody talk you out of your concept. He says if 3 years from now it doesn't work, well, you had a bad concept. But if you believe in what your concept is now, don't let anybody change your concept, because someday you're going to say, that's not really the direction I wanted to go. I wanted to go this direction, and so keep your ideas going for what you want to do. And
Right,
I thought that was good advice.
Yeah,
I thought that was
it's
good
good
advice.
advice.
You're going to have 100 people come in and say, you know what you should do. You know what you should do.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. Don't do what people say you should do.
No, exactly, definitely. It's just we want to do just like that. We want people to get to know these beers too. We want them to get to love these beers. And I mean, when Cloud Commander hit, I think people really like the name. It really represents itself. And that's the thing about me too. Like, I personally think that beers need to be named, and they have to have their personality, because I feel like if you're like, oh, this is like the IPA, this is the porter, this is the
I
Pilsner.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It's forgettable.
people don't even
Yeah.
know
Story,
you.
you
Yes,
know?
if people don't even know you, they go for the name.
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to try this. And who's great at that is Evil Genius.
Evil G.
With the
Yep.
Stacy's
Foul
mom
Mouth.
and the purple.
Foul Mouth is
Yeah.
really good. Like I can still, like I very much buy by the label, and one of my absolute favorites labels. I mean, the beer was fine. It was an IPA, and the label was red and yellow, and it was Vladimir Putin shirtless with a keytar, and it was called Communist Synthesizer.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm like, that is such a good pun. Like,
Yep.
I don't care if the beer's good. I'm buying it.
Right? Sometimes the name says the beer.
heading on its way to your brewery right
Yeah,
now.
well, I mean,
But that to me is great marketing.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
That's something that is lost through all this too. I think through this big IPA boom is it's always been a race to have the freshest beer that has the lowest shelf life and just get it out and sell it. And then you never get a loyalty. You never get an attachment to
Right.
the beer.
Yep.
And one of the things when I was coming up in craft beer was you had your beer. Like, this is what I drink. And people like to have the pride, and they're not brewing it, they're just drinking it, but it's that identity, that association with, I'm a Bud Light drinker. It's as simple as that. Why are you a Bud Light drinker? It tastes like Coors Light and Miller Lite. Because I'm a Bud Light drinker. Maybe I saw an ad I like. Maybe
Yep.
it's what my dad drank. If you're constantly changing your beer, naming it Idaho 7 2.389, people aren't going to say, oh, when you're going to make the Idaho beer? You're not going to make it again.
Where
Yeah.
did you
There's no
come up
loyalty.
with that name? That was.
That's a name of a hop. Idaho
it?
7.
Where did you come up with?
But there's also
I've been smoking.
there's also like this fine line between the labels definitely sell the beer, but
yeah.
people have loyalty and they'll walk in and they'll be like, "Hey, do you have any? I don't know. Tilted Barn's a bad example, but they'll name a brewery, and I'll be looking at the wall and be like, I mean, probably. I don't know, because it's not like Budweiser that you can look and go, oh, Bud's right there.
Yeah.
Because you
But
can't tell by the
I'll
label.
disagree. I think you get the call it the domestic beers, Miller, Coors, Bud, Blue Moon, if you will. People have their favorites and will stay with that forever. I don't think if you're a craft beer drinker, you have loyalties to anybody because you're always trying the next thing. You're always
Yeah. There's some.
So there's no.
But there's people with their favorite, and they'll ask.
There's people that I think there's people that have their favorite breweries, and usually their favorite breweries are the local guys.
Yeah.
But if I go out to California, I'm trying different things.
Oh,
that I've
I
never
would
had.
too.
So I think the craft beer drinker doesn't really have a loyal following.
Not typically. Yeah.
It's just it's a craft in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Loyal.
Yeah, but I mean, people do frequently ask me for like specific breweries, and my thing is you just can't look and pick them out because all the beers labels are so different. I mean, like Evil Genius pointed out, their labels are different, but they have a specific style. Colin, like you can tell by the style of artwork, being like, okay, that's a Sour Not Sorry beer.
Yeah.
So it's got a different label, it's got a different name, but where you're keeping with the same artist, it's still identifiable as your brand. And I think that's
Consistency across the board.
yeah. And I mean, there's some breweries that I'm not going to name specifically because I can't think of any off the top of my head, but all their labels are great, but you can put them next to each other and they don't look like they're the same brewery. So you're kind of losing branding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I
That was
see
my
a
point.
lot.
It was a very long, convoluted. I talk for a living, guys. Yeah, stop staring at me.
I got a question. So we're talking about these breweries that have committed to one style or benefited mainly from being this hazy IPA boom. Is there, and you have said you're open to brewing other styles, but is there a worry that, say 10 years down the line, that for some reason sours fall out of favor and you're committed to this idea? Or do you think there's enough of a market out there where you'll be able to sustain any sort of dips and peaks?
Oh, I think that we should be okay, because I think that the nice thing about sours is we can sour anything. I could sour an Oktoberfest if I wanted to.
True.
I could sour a porter, a stout, or anything really. But also, I mean, sours have been around for a while. They're gaining popularity. I think they will go through that whole like IPA thing where it's like 7 years of like sour. But the great thing is that we're one of the first ones in the state, so sour breweries. So I think that because of that, for a while, we'll have people kind of gravitating towards us for a good while. So
Right, you'll already have your built-in clientele.
Yep.
They'll know what they're getting with you. You won't have to stray too far from what you want to do.
Yeah,
That's true, and I don't realize you can do so much. Like, I think sour, either old school Belgian Cantillon,
Yeah,
stuff like that, which is what I wrote in Bach, things Flemish sours and reds. But now with this new sort of I would call it American sour because it's just my first contact with it.
Yeah.
You really can do anything with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can sour like anything. I mean, we're gonna be doing like sour pilsners, sour blah blah blah. Just try all these different crazy styles. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we're also gonna do like a lot of the like wild sours too at the new location. So I think we'll keep people on their toes because there are a lot of people out there who are like, well, I like sours, but they're like, you do the kettle sours. Like, do you have the real sours? You know what I mean? The wild sours. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing those too for like barrel aged.
And what's the difference between a kettle sour and a wild?
So wild sour takes like years to really lock in the flavor and age right and stuff like that too. You got your lambics; they sit in the barrels forever. For kettle sours, especially for sour not sorry, because like every drop gets drunk so quick. Surprisingly, it's something I didn't really expect that we would get such a big following with just my little nano shed. But yeah, I mean, the nice thing about kettle sours is it's quick. It's like 2 weeks and you're done. So it's the normal souring. I get all the souring done in like 2 days compared to like years, to develop in a barrel. So I guess. So
imagine we have to wait 2 more years for a keg, like.
Right?
Hey Jordan, can you wait a couple of years?
I'll pre-order. I'll pre-order a couple kegs for a couple of years.
Sign us up on the wait list.
Colin's like, you still haven't paid for your first invoice.
It's a really drinkable style too, so you've really put yourself in a tough spot keeping up wise.
Oh God, yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm pouring it in shorter pours over there, just because I want people to kind of savor it, and just we don't have many sours on, and of course cost wise too. It's a beer that's not cheap to make like other beers, so. But it flies. It absolutely flies, and until you get some help, you're gonna be running around for as long as you can.
Oh, today I'm gonna stop by Speedwell, grab all your kegs because I gotta cook for them.
Hit the whole town right there.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like. Yeah, last night I was like, after the interview, go or in the podcast, get the kegs, go back, clean them all, fill them again, and blah blah, send them out the door because it's just, they're kicking everywhere. But I think that also too, something that's really epic that like I've never really seen in every single job I've worked for. It's always been like, I hate to say this, but it's always been kind of like a heavy guy market when it comes to craft beer. But Sour Not Sorry has a bigger like female following, like way bigger. We're getting messages from girls all the time looking for Sour Not Sorry, and it's so odd. When at Longhouse, we're just like every single girl that comes up is like, can I get Sour Not Sorry, Sour Not Sorry, and they now. I don't know, like it's just such a cool thing that like I feel like it's kind of a new market or something, I guess.
Well, that's the interesting thing about sours is you get the non-beer drinkers, the people who don't like beer.
Yeah.
Well, it's so close to like you can pull wine drinkers for that.
Yeah.
Like, there's such similarities that like I can't make my girlfriend go to a brewery for my life, except for we'll go to Allagash. Never go to Portland because she loves sours, and we'll go taste all that stuff. Like, and that's the only she'll drink porters and sours. It's the weirdest variation. That's it.
That's my wife's same thing.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Porter. She likes dark beers. She likes cheap Asian lagers, and she likes sours.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Nice.
So maybe there's something there. You know what I mean? I also think it's something to do with your marketing, which you've been doing a long time before.
Oh, I've been following you. I just randomly you popped up on my Instagram one day, and I've been following you since. And you're a fantastic follow because you literally put every step of your business on there. Like today, I did 6 kegs of this. They're going here, all that. Like. I know more about your life than I think you do half the time.
So everything's a blur to me every single day, man.
But it's awesome. Like I said, it's really cool. Like remember when you had your little labels out before your beer was out. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like,
like a bitmap, like Microsoft Paint fucking logo.
Yeah.
You would see it everywhere.
It was awesome.
Vitamin C did the same thing, and that's another reason why I think they're a brewery in Massachusetts. They're extremely popular. Their beers are delicious, but. I mean, they're not doing. Dino would kill me if I said they're not doing something that no one else is doing. They're making really, really good beer. But I think the thing they did better than most breweries did do was they marketed their brewery years.
Oh yeah.
Ahead. They go to breweries. They go to a bar with no intention on opening within 2 or 3 years and drop off a 4-pack. Hey, I brewed this today. remember, this is vitamin C. And when they opened, everybody rushed.
Everybody wanted.
I was there opening day. Yeah,
you?
the
Yeah.
line was long. And they did that thing where it's like, okay, if you're here to be in the tap room, that's great. This is the line for that, and this is the line to just grab some cans and go because there's so many people here.
Yeah, and that's still how they function. It's crazy.
Yeah,
you go
sure.
in there, it's almost like a cult following. I mean, the product's good, but they built a culture, a market for themselves before they even existed. And you did the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
On a smaller scale, it was you existed. The name's super catchy. The first time I heard "Sorry Not Sorry" was in Wedding Crashers. Vince Vaughn says it while he's in the church because he's saying he wants to. Anyway, so that quote itself, "Sorry Not Sorry," became like viral. You saw it on Instagram as a hashtag. Like it was about like empowerment. Like, oh, I'm being myself. Sorry, not sorry. And then you use that, and I think that not just the flashiness of the branding, but using that play on words put you right into that Instagram, TikTok, Facebook culture.
Yep.
And I think that's another reason why you're probably getting more of the mixed gender sort of.
Well, the thing that I'm really curious to see is the next batch of cans that come out is...
This week.
Oh, they're coming out this week?
This week, yeah. New green label.
So by the time this... actually, this goes up Thursday. But it kind of already has a little bit of that Beanie Baby feel where, like, if you don't get it, like, it takes a while for this to happen. So I feel like it's going to hit the shelves and it's going to be gone in hours.
Yeah.
And it builds up that, like... Oh shit, we gotta do this. Oh shit,
I'm like, oh god, more to add to the schedule.
You hold the power.
Yeah.
Like you are the key master,
But
the gatekeeper.
But I mean,
here, like.
Beanie Babies were not hard to manufacture. They were literally easy to manufacture, but they're like, well, you can have this much.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep them hungry.
Yeah, keep them hungry, and it keeps that people talking about it. And like, have you tried it? Oh, you missed it. Oh, it sucks to be you. I got 4 cans in my fridge. You know, and it builds up like on itself. And
But it's genuine. It's not like.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's not-
you are
yeah.
literally-
Yeah.
As Dan said, you've documented your whole journey and your ups, your downs,
Yeah.
and the battle to get where you're going.
Yeah.
So like when you run out, people know you're not just fucking with them.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, I'm
genuinely
actually
one guy.
running
You can, you
I
can
don't even
read the
drink it
distress in your voice.
myself.
Controlled
Yeah.
obsolescence. It's
No, and I think that's the best thing that I went with this company because I'm not calling any other breweries out or anything like that, but I just think that it's like oh, here's our beer, go buy it. You know what I mean? Like I want to be personal. I want to be like, this is my life. This is like my heart in my sleeves. You know, join me. You know what I mean? Like this is a movement. Like, you know, you're a part of this brewery as much as I am. I mean, we wouldn't be here without the Kickstarter supporters. Like I wouldn't have built the Nano Brewery because of them, and you know, it's just incredible support. And like, you know, today I'll probably do an update myself and tell people what's going on for the week. You know, so
maybe he'll mention this.
yeah.
Of course. I was gonna ask for a picture, but my phone died.
We
so.
might get
I can
13
say-
downloads this week.
13 downloads. Well, we're not quite at last call, but I just wanted to touch on something kind of completely unrelated because there's a lot going on. Carl, how's Tolson's going?
No, that's next episode.
That's next episode?
Yeah,
We're
so-
going to do next episode.
yeah,
we got
Fish edit that out. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Fish edit that out. All right. Someone ask a question so Fish can edit that out and it makes sense. Well, no, I was hoping someone else had a question. No, totally related to the last thing that we were going to talk about. And thanks, Dan. Yeah,
It's just a trailer for the next one.
Yeah.
You're not cutting Kyle short on that topic. Then.
In the future,
You
where
beat me out half the time anyway.
Yeah.
We're officially at the point where we just have to leave that all in because it's going to be way more
Yeah.
entertaining than
Fuck.
anything else you said.
Anytime I
It's a
look bad,
preview.
Fish will. Yeah. Yep. Next time. So,
Might as well do
last call? Yeah, let's do last call. Fuck it. We're right about the right time. Colin, we don't have to explain because you listen to the show. And thank you for listening.
No, I listen every single.
So, since you listen...
Long time listener, first time caller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're going to throw last call over to you. Put you on the spot. I usually do it to Jordan.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I got nothing. I got to think about something. But
yeah, just basically, I mean, we're doing good things here, and I think that, you know, it's kind of like you said, it's like very scarce, but I'm happy to bring as much product out to the people of Plymouth as possible. And I'm just happy to be here. And thanks for inviting me. And it's gonna be. There's gonna be more Octofan cans this week. I'm gonna go through the entire town and stuff like that. So yeah.
Hell yeah. And you can be found on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere else for Sour Not Sorry?
Yeah. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Are you doing the TikTok? Are you doing the TikTok?
Yeah.
I feel negligent for not having
I will
TikTok.
I will say I feel bad right now. I listened to the entire show, but I actually don't know what last call is.
Last call is where we go around.
Yeah.
We go around. You plug whatever you want.
Plug whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's fine.
Okay, cool.
So that works fine. You're telling people where the beer is. That works. Dan Mahoney, nature's enemy number one.
I'll have a positive last call this time.
Whoa.
I guess. I'm going to plug our cab driver from Vegas because me and Carl in a cab, and she's like, hey, do you guys have any bags in the car with you? I was like, no, the only bags I have are emotional. And she was very concerned for my well-being. So, shout out to that lady. I'm pretty sure they take mental health seriously in Vegas because...
it took about 5 seconds to go 20 miles. In that one.
I thought Carl was going to have a heart attack, and it was the best ride of Vegas right there.
We had a cab driver that was less concerned for our mental health and was just...
Get the fuck out.
I'm like, you can't do 60 in a 4-foot space.
That was the best cab rides I've ever had.
That's right.
So,
Carl Heine.
All right, I'm gonna push all local breweries, local beer. If you're out there, doesn't matter where you are, if you're a tourist or if you're in your hometown, support the local guys. They're all trying to make a living doing something that they love. So drink them.
Cool. Jordo.
I'm going to piggyback Carl because I got nothing. Support your local businesses that support local beer. There are a lot of restaurants in town, and you got your chains, and they're going to carry those big macro beers. But don't forget, right back to the small business mindset. Your small breweries supporting everything in town, that's down on a personal level. And then the restaurants that support them, same thing. Just keep it local.
That's well said.
Keep it local. Thanks.
Cool.
I didn't mean to say that one after mine.
It's locals only. It's like Dogtown.
The locals only club.
Locals only. It's like the surfers. Locals only.
I've never seen Lord of the Dog.
Oh, it's really good.
It's like grew up skateboarding.
It's really good. You should check it out.
Definitely not.
It's too seen for you, bro.
That is not going to be. There's a skateboarding dog. That is not going to be my plug. My plug is going to be for May 10th. We have a special comedy show at the New World Tavern, not our regular comedy show. It's a little more expensive. It's $4 a ticket, but it includes a buffet dinner. Right, Carl?
Yep.
It does now.
No, we were actually talking about it before recording. We have Jimmy Cash, who is a huge up-and-coming comic in the Massachusetts area. Super funny. He's been in like a commercial that airs during the Red Sox game. So check it out. You can get your tickets. Just go to the Inebriart Facebook page or search for Inebriart on Eventbrite. Grab your tickets there. And fun starts at 5:30, I think. This door's open. I think we said 5:30.
If you say it, I believe it.
5:30.
The poster right there says it starts at 7.
But doors are doors are early. So good point. Thanks, Dan. Again. So that's Bar Talk. You can reach us at all the social medias at Bar Talk Cast. You can email your questions, comments, hate mail to bartalkcast@gmail.com, and we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.